Scorpio, this is your weekly tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is an energy reading, so please take it where and how it resonates in your life because this is your message. And if you're not a Scorpio and it showed up on your feed, it's definitely your message. It would only come to you because you call it into you, and there's something in this message that you need to hear right now at exactly the right time. And this, take this is where your message begins. You know, I look at the way the cards come out as well as that they come out, you know? And at first it was slow. It was sort of like, kind of casual, indescript, nothing much happening. There's a lot going on here in terms of waiting or relaxing or taking a rest from something. This is my retrograde card, so it's definitely demonstrating that it's happening during retrograde. Mercury is now out of retrograde. I think you're contemplating the actions to take because you don't necessarily know, or somebody that you're dealing with isn't sure. You could be dealing with a Virgo or simply somebody who likes to be alone, or you are taking personal space, or it's being suggested for you to take personal space and be alone and just sort of sink into your own grind right now, because there's something here that isn't certain, and the certainty will come, but you shouldn't wait for the answer. You should continue to move forward, and then the answer will sort of reveal itself in time. And we're going to see, like, what is this? What is going to be revealed in time? Okay, let's get to it. But first, let's get a moon card. Scorpio, hit the ground running. Wait a second, guys. Something was kind of topsy-turvy. Honestly, something just feels a little bit off, doesn't it? Like something doesn't feel right. There's a new start, new beginning at the bottom of the deck. What's going on for Scorpio? Look at the bigger picture. There's definitely more going on, and luck is on your side. That is really interesting energy, because we have Sagittarius full moon and Sagittarius new moon. Oh, so you're dealing with growth and expansion. And it's almost like God wants you to aim bigger. So it's like, maybe don't get caught up in all the little stuff or the piddly stuff right now, and go ahead and shoot and aim and push yourself, because ultimately luck is on your side right now. What does this mean? We have the Strength card here. And then we have the Six of, it's like, do I have the strength to move on? Do I have the strength to figure this situation out? Do I have the strength in myself to know I will figure this stuff out? So that's why I have to keep on moving. It's almost like an act of faith that God is asking you to take right now, because the way isn't clear and things aren't decided. But usually when this energy comes up, you're going to be the one that decides it based on the actions that you take. So it's not like fate or something that you can be sure of or certain of, but instead you are the determining factor. And that's why you're being asked to take aim right now, Scorpio. You're being asked to make the decision. Which direction do you want to go? And how much do you really feel it's worth it? Because that's going to be the only kind of certainty you have. Is the certainty that there is a future here. We have this card. This is maternal energy. It's abundance and prosperity, usually Taurus energy, the energy of somebody who is sure and certain, has a lot of self-esteem, really like a person who owns their own value. They it could also be a sign of abundance. It's almost like you know that there's something more out there. And God's like, don't settle. Don't stop where you are, right? Especially in that undecided place, even though you might have to go through some trials and tribulations or deal with the instability that comes from everybody getting at you, or the clutter or the clamor, or not being sure, because there seems to be competition ahead. No matter what you're dealing with, there is definitely competition ahead that's making things unbalanced and uncertain. And there is your energy and the King of Pentacles, and then being withheld from, being withdrawn, being left behind. It could be that you have to end the situation, or that there is going to be, okay, if you want the answer, I'm going to tell you the answer. Here's the prediction, and we're going to see what this means to you. Essentially, there is an end to a situation with an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. There's an end to the situation, even though it seemed like there was so much coming. What's coming ultimately is going to be being left behind, and being like, it could be the end of a job, the end of a position, something that's super psyched and maybe seems to have a lot of potential right now is not actually meant to be long term, or it's going to be wrapping up. It almost looks like in some ways something's going to end abruptly, and somebody's going to end alone or fired or dumped. I'm just letting you know that. That's why you watch these cards, right? That's why. Let's get some clarity though. Why is this happening? I think I need to understand what's happening. Why is Scorpio being told this? Queen of Swords, that you can use your discernment and you can be objective, or be reminded to get clarity. You should be asking questions. You should be pressing a situation. Mercury is now out of retrograde. Your mind will be working more clearly. And what this is saying to me is that things are going to start to be clear for you. It's going to start to become very obvious. Certain things were not as good as you thought they were going to be, or as good as they seemed. And so with objectivity comes clarity, that this is a kind of a moot situation that wasn't going anywhere. There was nothing really growing. It's almost like as hard as you try, you were never going to get anything out of it. This is like a new opportunity that leads nowhere. Like an interest in something that doesn't lead anywhere, or isn't going anywhere. So why? Can we maybe give Scorpio, I don't know if this is something new. Let me say this. It's definitely something that you have been thinking about, that you have been, and I mean thinking about to the point where you were thinking about it because you weren't sure of it. You know something's up. So trust your instincts, because ultimately this is going to end in something not going anywhere. And even though it's interesting, it doesn't really reap much fruit. Whatever this interest is, know that about it, because ultimately, Scorpio, it's not about even wasting your energy. And you might have to see this through, like for your own good, for your own sanity, for your own clarity. You might have to see this through, almost like prove it to yourself, because there's like something here that you've got to like almost see for yourself. What is that? I gotta ask, right? What is it that Scorpio needs to know out of this? Flexible. You have to know if you're capable. You have to know your capacities. You have to prove to yourself that you can do this. Or maybe you want to see if you can change the scenario. But basically what this tells me, it's about you. It's almost like a training ground. You want to see how much you can take. You want to see how far you can take things. This is more about you testing the boundaries of your own capabilities than it is you actually pursuing something to have and hold. This is more like, I need to prove something to myself. I need to see if I can bend or switch things up. Okay. Or somebody is testing you this way. A change in the wind is here and now. Okay, so something is going on here and now, but there's a change in the wind. Unfinished symphony. Okay, so there's just stuff that is left undone or was left unsaid. And maybe that's why either somebody's looking for a distraction because they don't want to finish something, and they're just trying to like change direction really quickly so that they can avoid dealing with what they really have to deal with. But unfinished symphony is more about, you know, there's something that needs to be done. You know, there's something that needs to be completed. And ultimately, you're getting a chance to do that so that you can change your direction, or that you can feel good finally about changing your direction. Ooh. This is like no, like, small situation that you've rolled yourself into. God. Guide me to the next card. Guide me to the next card. Why is all this happening? Because you're looking... You want something solid. You want something stable. Or because you're trying to control something and you don't want to let it go. You're holding on to something too tight. And that's why it's ending. Or that's why it has to end. And once again, this is more from the perspective of not, you're holding on to something too tight. You need to let it go in order to keep it. No. You're holding on to something too tight for yourself. It's ending because it's like you're too needy with it. You're too holding. I just got 1111. You're needing it too much. It's like, why are you needing it too much? It's almost like, why? Yeah, this is fated to end. This is the 10 of Swords here. But it's almost like you're holding on, or maybe you've been clinging on to something that is fated to end. Why are you doing that? Well, because you know what? You're not going to see what's beyond it until you walk past it, until you let the past be the past. Or this is a total reveal for who you're dealing with. And just to let you know, that means that somebody is like clinging on or holding on basically to something that they know is going to end or has to finish. Clarify that for me. Clarify that for me. Six of Wands. Well, you definitely thought it was worth it. You definitely thought, I can win this. I can do this. Oh, but the Emperor's in reverse. It's almost like God's coming out to say, watch what you're winning. Because it's like control. This is very controlling energy, and not in a good way. This is the energy of, I'm losing myself in the need to impress, or I'm losing myself in my own pursuits, because proving what I am is more important to me than being who I am or knowing who I am. So it's almost like winning is everything. This is the energy of somebody who winning is everything, to the point where they're not even looking at, what am I winning? Do I really want it? Does it really matter to me? Right? That's kind of what this is. And with the Emperor in reverse, it is low vibrational energy. It's controlling. It's aggressive because it lacks self-esteem. It lacks knowledge of itself. And so it tries to control every situation. And it has to win everything. It has to win every situation. It has to win every situation because that's what. And okay, this could also be a sense of somebody needs to look like they're giving and kind and sweet, but when in reality that's like they don't have a distinct sense of who they are. You know, it's like, I just want people to like me. I want to be popular, right? And so ultimately this is a sense of neediness. I don't know who you're dealing with, but I don't love this energy. I'm just letting you know. I don't love this energy. Let's get an angel message, because I want to know how to move forward with this situation. Divine life purpose is here. Okay. Divine life purpose, trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. So this card tells me that you already know. You already know this. My thought in my head is, okay, so why not just let it go now? What's the point of sticking with it? Heightened intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. What is your inner knowingness telling you? What is it telling you? What is Scorpio's inner knowingness telling them? There's a fire sign here. Confidence, looking forward. But he's looking back and he's looking down. Something is squashing your confidence. And it's almost like what your inner knowingness is telling you, Scorpio, is that you're not going to thrive here. Whatever direction that you just started taking, whatever direction that this is how this situation began, is it was on the rocks to begin with. It was like, I don't really know. I'm not really sure of it. Maybe I need, happy birthday to Denny, to contemplate or think of this a little bit more, right? It's almost like there was uncertainty from the beginning because you can feel that it's squishing your confidence. That it's not something that you're going to want or that's going to fulfill you or make you happy forever. That's not what's happening. And then we have looking to the future. It's almost like you thought maybe this was a good investment or that there was a future in this. And there is a future out there for you. But it's like, have confidence. It's almost like this is what it's saying. Have confidence that there's something more out there. Are you thinking of settling? That's sort of what it feels like. It's like, I better grab this in front of me now because I don't know what's next, or, you know, this is the best I've come by in a while. This feels like that. And that's why it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right to me because it's not right. It's not a right choice. You know, there's something else out there, and it's almost like you're squashing your confidence or making a decision from a lack of confidence because you're scared to miss out on something, anything, or somebody is. You could be dealing with somebody with this energy, like they're just scared that they're not going to find something else or get something else, which means that then somebody would be settling for you. And if this is something that is like objective for you, like a job, and you just got to take it for the money, fine. But I would not attach myself emotionally to any of this energy because it is temporary, uncertain, and quite honestly, not very strong. Let's go to the extended because we have a lot more to build on.